Hey, is this thing on? Hello, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're talking about a topic that is definitely really important to me because it's something that I have experienced personally and seen how beneficial it has been in my life. And that is learning to protect your peace at all costs. Obviously, life happens, things come up, we have to have interactions with people, or we end up in situations that can definitely kind of attack our peace or disrupt the peace that we're feeling in our lives. But there are certain things and habits that you can adopt to make sure that you are trying your best to protect your peace, and that contributes to living a really great, beautiful, peaceful life overall. The first thing you want to do is take stock of how you spend your mornings. Really lean into mindfulness each morning to spend some time with yourself, assess how you're feeling, and then plan your day accordingly. You don't want to get into the habit of just going along with your routine when sometimes you just aren't feeling your best. So think about and focus on, take stock of what you need in order to be successful or feel your best for the day. Even if you're like, I don't really have a ton of time to kind of like focus on mindfulness in the morning, simple, quick things such as just taking a moment to breathe and relax your body can make a huge impact. Even right now, are your shoulders stiff? Are you clenching your jaw? Or are you kind of balling your fists or tightening your body in some way? It can be really natural because that's kind of what we're used to, especially with like really rushed or busy lives. But take a moment to just decompress and spend some time doing that every morning. If you do have a little bit more time, one of the things that I love to recommend is journaling. Again, it doesn't have to be long, but it does have to be impactful. You can journal about how you want to feel throughout the day, goals that you have for yourself, or even reflect on how you felt the day before and some different changes that you can make to make this day even better. Also, I like to work out in the mornings, but sometimes like a rigorous, intense workout isn't what I need. I'm mindful of what my body is asking for. So sometimes I'll just do an easy stretch or just do a simple walk. And those things allow me to pour back into myself, but also to cultivate positivity in my life on a regular basis. Another huge way to protect your peace is to practice gratitude. It can be so easy to kind of get caught up in the idea of what you want or focus more on what you don't have than on what you do have. Now, while of course, like I talk about goals and your dream life so much on this channel, and it's important to have that perspective, it's also really important for you to be grateful for where you are right now. There are certain things that are happening in your life today that you have dreamed and wished for that are actually your reality. So enjoy them, be grateful for them, assess how you got to this point and use that as a catalyst to push you forward, but also a moment to reflect, show gratitude and appreciation for how far you've come. And again, this doesn't have to be something extremely formal. There are a ton of like different gratitude journals that you can use to write in every day, but also you can just jot them down like in your notes section on your phone or on little sticky notes that you place around your house or around your workplace. Things that you are grateful for, pieces or people in your life that have really added to your peace and your joy and your happiness. Just put little things around in your everyday life that are going to remind you to be appreciative of how amazing your life is currently, even though you still have goals and you're going to go even further in the future. Now, this next one, I feel like it's just intensifying over time, and I would notice that this was definitely a big robber of peace for my students. I used to teach middle school students, so it's a very vulnerable time in general, but the digital world was really, really dangerous for how they felt about themselves and their internal peace because they're constantly immersing themselves in the worlds of other people, which definitely leads to comparison and can definitely make you feel less happy about who you are and less at peace with yourself. So even though these were like 11, 12, 13-year-old kids, it's the same thing for adults as well. So it's really important to do a digital detox in order to protect your peace. So some things that you could do in order to support this is to set up time where you are fully technology free, and create a list of things that you can do to fill that time, whether that's reading, trying a new recipe, learning a new hobby, going on a walk, just spending some time in silence, resting, whatever that looks like. Schedule in that time where you're not in the digital world. And if you're like, I can't really schedule in the time necessarily, then create a tech-free space in your home so that you know whenever I'm in this space, I'm not engaging in anything that's related to technology. So a really good place to try this could be your bedroom. Like, a lot of people don't even have TVs in their room because they don't want to like escape into another world. They want to enjoy the time that they have and the peace that they're feeling in their current world. So find different ways to really set boundaries and take stock of your technology intake and how what you are viewing and consuming is making you feel. Is it impacting your actions in life? Is it making you feel like you are inferior or you can't attain certain things? And this is really important for people who are in the content creation space too, because even though sometimes like social media is supposed to be like a fun place, it can be hard to kind of separate the two, because it's like, oh, like I'm doing research or trying to see what other people are doing, what are they sharing, getting new ideas, finding inspiration. And so it can kind of become work. And so you've got to really set up some boundaries to see, where does my work day end? How is that connected with the digital world? And what can I do to ensure that it's not going to disrupt my peace? And our next step has to do with the space around you. You need to keep a clean, tidy, and decluttered space. Chaos can make you feel unsettled and disrupt your peace on a regular basis. Sometimes you may be like, I can't figure out what it is that's causing me to just feel like uneasy or unsettled. It could potentially be your environment. Are you surrounded by mess? Are there a ton of things that you've kind of put off and procrastinated that need to be done? Take care of those things so you can take care of yourself. When you have a just lovely, beautiful, clean space, that adds to clarity and tranquility in your life. And don't necessarily think that like you need a different space in order to do that. Like, you don't have to redecorate or move to find a clean, fresh start. You can do that in the space that you have now. So go through your things, get rid of what you don't need, declutter, reorganize, and add a feeling to your space that supports your peace. So like for myself, I knew when I redecorated the bedroom, I wanted it to really feel light and airy and cozy all at the same time. So I was like, I definitely want a ton of whites and creams everywhere, but I also want a mix of textures to where there's a lot of softness, and I designed each different area of that space in order to kind of be like this safe oasis. And I absolutely love it, because I know when I go in there, like that is my retreat. So I don't do any work in the room or anything that is going to kind of detract from the vibe of that space that I wanted to create, which is lending itself to building my peace. Another habit that I wanted to touch on when it comes to protecting your peace is actually something that's often overlooked, which is mindful eating. We are in such a habit of eating with a ton of distractions. Like, even when I'm gonna like sit down and eat something, like I'll usually play a YouTube video, but I'm trying to get into a habit of not doing that all of the time and just eliminating all distractions so I can just sit and enjoy my meal. Savor the flavors. Think about the work that you put in to make the meal, or if you picked it up from somewhere, like what do you like about that place? Like, it's just the small things that can create these really special, peaceful moments. And it can enhance your experience with eating overall, which again is lending itself to protecting your peace and helping you to become and feel like your best self every single day. Now, this one is my soapbox forever. Boundaries are so important if you want to protect your peace. You need to set them, but you also have to keep them. And the only way in order to keep your boundaries is to make everyone around you aware of them and let them know, like, this isn't just something that I'm saying. I am serious about what my boundaries are. I'm going to stick to my boundaries, and there's nothing that you can do or say in order to make me change my boundaries, because my peace is more important than how you feel. So a lot of times when we think of boundaries, we think it's always like just saying no. While that is such an important piece, yes, it's important for you to learn to say no when you don't want to do something, when it's an uncomfortable situation, or just no in general. But boundaries are also about communicating your needs. You have to teach people how to treat you. And if someone notices that like you're willing to bend on your boundaries in certain areas, or if they keep pushing or keep asking, then they're going to continue to overstep your boundaries. So be very clear in your communication about what you need and what you want and what makes you feel comfortable in interactions. And remember, the people in your life who love you and respect you and value you will accept your boundaries and support you because they know that you're doing something for yourself that is going to build your peace. So this next tip for protecting your peace is something that's definitely become so much more important to me now, which is embracing nature. I literally used to hate nature. Like, I don't do outside, I don't do bugs, I don't do heat. Okay, I still don't do bugs or heat, but at least being outside when the weather is nice and there's not a lot of bugs is something that is really beneficial, and I've really grown to appreciate it so much more, to the point that like I literally want to move so that I can enjoy nature even more and just be outside, breathe fresh air, feel the sun on my skin, and recenter and ground myself. Nature is something that can soothe your soul and also renew your spirit. So think about ways that you can enjoy nature where you're currently located. Here, like hiking isn't really a thing, but pretty much every time I go on vacation or a trip, I try to make sure that I schedule a hike in. Swimming is a great option, going for walks, just sitting outside, enjoying the sun, watching the sunset on your porch. Find different activities that you can do to spend time in nature and just listen. Like, listen to all the sounds of nature, feel the breeze, look at the sun, enjoy being outside and feeling that experience of being grounded, and see how much that enhances your peace. It is truly just like a transformative experience when you start to embrace nature, which may be some more work. Like, I will probably not go outside at least for the next 2 months or spend an extended amount of time outside because it's over 100 degrees, even though we're almost in fall. But at the same time, I have activities planned already for when the weather cools off, for things that I want to do to enjoy nature. That also just helps me to look forward to the new seasons and things that I can do outdoors. And finally, one of the biggest and most important things that contributes to protecting your peace is to practice forgiveness. A lot of times we think that we're forgiving someone else for them, but really you're forgiving other people for yourself so that you can feel lighter, so that you can be free, and that you don't have the weight of drama and mess and contentions that are going on with others. Look, people are going to do stuff to you. You are not always going to like it. You should not just let it happen. Definitely speak up for yourself and take action to make sure this is not a repeated behavior, and remove yourself from that situation if necessary. But once you remove yourself, you are safe. You are no longer in any danger from interactions with this person. Let it go. You have to release past hurt in order to embrace healing. You cannot have peace in your life and within yourself if there's like just this little thing that's constantly reminding you of a disruption that you have in your life. And another thing about kind of letting go of the past and practicing forgiveness has to do with forgiving yourself. That is one of the biggest peace disruptors, is because you're feeling like you're not in a good place, or that you can't build your self-love or go on your self-love journey or have better confidence because you're constantly focused on the mistakes that you've made in your past and you don't feel like you're deserving. Allow yourself to accept that you are deserving, regardless of any mistakes that you have made, any choices, any thought patterns. All of those things can be adjusted and you can move forward in a positive way in your life. So learn to accept what you've done in the past, grow from those choices, and then also embrace your new journey of positivity and finding peace in your life. So overall, with these steps to kind of learning to protect your peace and building your inner peace, remember that it's a journey. Try every single day to work toward creating a more peaceful life for yourself. It is truly rewarding, like not feeling like I'm just caught up in so many other things allows me to have so much more energy, more time for myself, and more happiness and joy in my life. And I just want that to be the experience for everyone because it is absolutely amazing. So try to cultivate some peace in your life this week. Comment below some ways that you are cultivating peace and gaining peace and working toward achieving that goal of a more peaceful life and protecting your peace on a regular basis. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at Affirmations with Amber.